I want to talk about the euro dollar for starters. So let's go take a look at EU here for a moment and see what the EdgeFinder has for us today. So overall, EU strong sell, and I would tend to agree with this. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to go just because it says strong sell, I'm going to go sell it right now. That's not necessarily what the EdgeFinder is for. The EdgeFinder just gives me a list of variables and gives me a general idea of a directional bias. So for me, I am looking to sell the euro dollar. We can look at this thing on several different instances. COT data is negative. We have strong bias towards buying USD. Interest rate divergence, 0.5% towards the US dollar, as Europe has a 0% interest rate and the US has a 0.5% interest rate. That gives me a bias towards USD. Retail sentiment, retail traders are going long on the pair. So I am looking more to be short on the pair, right? Going against that crowd because the crowd tends to lose. Seasonality, right? We go through this. If you've been watching my channel, then this is going to sound really repetitive. We use the EdgeFinder almost every day now. This has been, ever since the software was released, it has changed my trading dramatically. It's been amazing. It's been such a convenience tool. And that's really what it is. It's the ultimate convenience tool for traders, and just puts a lot of good information in front of you to consider. So overall, strong sell rating on the euro dollar. So let's switch back over to the chart here for a second. I'm going to talk about my gold position in a second. I hinted at it here. It's nice. The market's open. So I have a long position on gold. We're going to come back to that in just a moment. I traded on my stock market broker because in the US, we have a little bit of limitations on trading gold, at least with a regulated broker. Okay. So anyways, euro dollar, right? So I want to short this thing, but I've got to be careful because look at this, right? Let's be honest about this. The euro dollar, even if I do want to short it, I have to find a good entry point, because if I just short this thing and then this thing goes on a rally, right? I could just be sitting in a lot of hurt for no reason. So for me, looking at the euro dollar, there's places to short this thing, but I have to be very patient for them. So I'm not going to rush into a whole bunch of euro dollar shorts this week. We did come up and briefly retest an area like this on the daily chart before falling last week. So maybe a very aggressive short would be something like looking at the hourly and this zone that we have marked up right around 1.092. So maybe if you're very aggressively looking to short the euro, perhaps that area could be of interest. If I do take a trade there, it will be small. I'll take a small sell if I choose to do that. This week, if price comes up to that level and I choose to sell it, it'll be a small sell. So that is kind of a pending idea. Nothing down here. I can't touch the euro dollar down here, right? We're extended. I like to wait for some sort of counter trend to come in, and then I look to trend or go in the direction of the major trend, right? This is the stuff that we do again and again here on the stream. So short term, if you're a day trader, if you're looking at the euro dollar and you think, okay, maybe I would like to sell up in this area, or maybe there's sell pressure up in this area, perhaps you're looking for a bullish breakout to trade in the interim, right? A lot of times we talk about, day traders can still make money even in a overall downtrend by buying if there's an opportunity that sets up with good risk to reward. So if you think that that's something that could be coming into play there for the euro dollar, watch for, at the very least, a break of this structure here going into this week. If you're bullish short term, be careful with that, because of course you are playing with fire with the downtrend being very, very strong here. Of course, if things change, we'll change our tone a bit on the euro, but for the time being, the EdgeFinder is a sell reading on the euro dollar for several factors that we already listed. You can see them all the time. Anytime you see me pull up the EdgeFinder, you can see the summary report across the top of the screen, which is telling us right now that for me, euro dollar, this would be considered a more of a sell side action trade. Do you think Euro USD will bounce back to the moon? Jaylene, I would not bet on it personally. Like I said, when we trade, the thing is, trading is all probabilities. So to be fair, technically, yeah, it could, right? We could see this thing completely change its mind, change directions, and change its tone completely. But do I think that that is what is likely going to happen? I would say no. So the thing is, I am not a fortune teller. You could ask me, people ask me all the time, you guys, does anybody relate to this? Tell me if you relate to this. So a lot of people in my personal life who are not traders themselves, they see me as a trader and they say, oh, wow, well, what do you think this stock is going to do? Or what do you think about this currency? Do you think that the euro will be up in a couple months? Or, right, people will ask me that. And, I kind of joke with them and, remind them that I'm a trader. I'm not a fortune teller, right? I don't know the future. Has anybody ever experienced that? It's a very weird conversation because people sometimes expect that a trader or someone who invests actively is going to know where the markets are going to go next. And the truth is, as a trader, I don't know where markets are going to go next. I kind of just react and manage my risk as best as possible, if that makes sense. People assume as traders, we should all be millionaires, and it's annoying. That is true as well, Tarek. So I would agree with you. Sometimes people will say, well, where's the Lamborghini? And I always joke and I say, it's in my trading account. Because that's the truth, man. Like, okay, I could get on a whole rant about that. I won't go into that. We got a lot of markets to cross off. But for me, why would you spend all that money? If you make a little bit of money in the markets, why would you take all that money and put it in a Lambo when you could just keep it in the market and grow it into mini Lambos over time? I don't even want a Lambo personally. I don't really find them that cool. But that's an unpopular opinion. I'm not a true trader because I just said that, so I apologize. Although I am looking at getting a Jeep. I might get a Jeep maybe this week or sometime soon. I want to go look at Jeeps. I don't know. Jeeps sound fun. Spring is coming here in the U.S. The warm season's coming, and I think it'd be cool to have a Jeep and maybe even take the top off sometime and go into town. I feel like I'm such a boomer, but that sounds so fun. So anyways, let's take another currency pair into consideration. We'll take a look here at the pound against the dollar here this morning. And let's look at the pound dollar on the EdgeFinder here for a second first, just to see overall what scans we're getting on this thing. So downtrend for sure, right? Big sell moves happening in the pound. And this one is actually rated a sell on the EdgeFinder. And there's a couple reasons for this. If we take a look at the COT data, this one's a big screaming warning. Institutional traders are short the pound. Institutional traders, we want to respect their opinion because a lot of times, they are managing millions of billions of dollars. They're going to be, pushing money around in favor of their positions. So if we know that, a big banker has a really heavy hand on shorting the pound, we want to be careful of that. Then we look at the dollar and it's the opposite. They're very long biased on that. So for me, it's like, okay, take that into consideration. I'd be more interested in selling the pound, buying the dollar. So that's kind of my take on it. Now,
let's face it, if you're trading Forex without a winning trading plan, you're gambling. You need a model that is going to long-term net you a profit. Our team has put together a free guide on how you can actually create a trading plan.
All you have to do is use the link down below in the description.
Send the word template to our team on Telegram and we'll send you a copy. Again, hit the word template in your Telegram, send us a message and we'll get back to you with a copy of the free trading plan template.